Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, they teach you how to make millions of dollars. But the professors themselves make $70,000, $80,000 a year. Now, if they knew how to make millions, they'd be making millions, not teaching me for less than 100 grand. Degrees can only do so much. You would think that there are certain areas of profession where a formal education is important. Medicine, that's important. Leonardo da Vinci, his sketches of the fetus are still textbook. There's a point I'm trying to come to, and what I mean by that is a degree or a book will teach you nothing new. And high school is great and college is going to be great, but just like you don't take a break from your toys and games over summer vacation, a seeker of knowledge cannot take a break from books. This is the most exciting toy and game that you can have. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do something else? Well, there's only two reasons, I believe, that make you do anything in this world. The first is this desire to change the world. The second is this desire to change your own world. I'll tell you the difference. Changing the world is like the Wright brothers' plane, is like the first car. It changed transportation, it changed logistics. Changing your own world is like Toyota or Honda or Mercedes making this year's model. They try and sell it to you. They say, oh, you know, the air conditioner button is closer, the seats are more comfortable. You should be able to tell the difference between changing the world and changing your own world. Changing your own world pretty much just means changing your own wallet, money. When it comes down to money, you should realize when you want to change the world, you'll make a lot of money. You'll have intellectual property, you'll have economies of scale, you'll have monopolies. You're going to make money. If you want to change your own world, you're going to find a job, you're going to get a salary. I don't care how big a salary you get. Somebody pays you $1 million a month, well, they're making more than $1 million from you a month. That's why they're paying you that. You should be very clear about that. Now comes the difference as to why you'd want to change the world or change your own world. There's two terms I want to tell you about. First is a standard of living and a quality of life. A standard of living could be 2 cars, a swimming pool, a cabin in Switzerland. You may have no quality of life because if you lose 1 week or a month of your pay, you probably won't be able to pay the credit card or the mortgage payments on that. So your quality of life may be low, your standard of living is wonderful. However, on the flip side, some kind of village is going to have a black and white TV and a bicycle and no bills. And he has no standard of living, but he has very high quality of life. And these are things that you really need to judge. Which one do you want? It doesn't mean you can't have both. What it means in the next step is you need to have a plan of what to do. You need to have ideas that others implement for you. It shouldn't be the other way around. It shouldn't be other people having ideas and you implementing for them. This is sometimes called bad advice to kids. You know, you tell them, job is not good. I'm not saying you should become entrepreneurs. A guy that works in an agriculture department making almost nothing could be changing the world. He's coming up with this new seed, and he's going to make a wheat crop be able to give you 10 times the acreage. Now he's changing the world, and he's not doing a job. He really isn't doing a job, and hopefully he'll get the benefit of it. But after explaining to you the reasons why you'd want to do anything in this world and what it amounts to, quality of life and standard of living, what I'd like to tell you is you should really try and do things that haven't been done before. That's the best advice I can give you guys. Haven't been done before are things that are impossible. Now everybody tells me, Mamoon, this is impossible. You can't do this. This technology they spoke of, Moonitin, I invented it against the giants of Microsoft and Google and IBM and everybody else in the world who thought we couldn't bridge the digital divide. I'm not going to try and sell you my product here. I give it away for free anyways, but it was an impossible thing. And why do I want to do impossible things, and why do I want you to do impossible things? Because if you don't do the impossible things, the only things you'll do are what is possible. And people ask me that all the time, ye namumkin hai Mamoon, ye kaise? I try to be very respectful at times, but sometimes I just can't hold it back. मैं कहता हूँ जी, तो फिर मैं क्या करूँ? ये नामुमकिन ना करूँ तो मैं मुमकिन करूँ, वो तो आप भी कर सकते हैं. मैं कौन सा तीर मार लूँगा? Thank you. Mumkin काम करके. A point I want to tell you here is that the impossible is temporary. Things are impossible only today. They're not impossible permanently. It was impossible to fly, right? It was impossible to do many things in this world. It is only when we try and strive for the impossible that will mark the upward evolution of man. One gentleman that comes to my mind, John Lister, he created antisepsis. You have an open wound, it would get gangrene, and you'd pretty much die or chop the leg off. This gentleman created antisepsis, and now because of that we can operate. Gangrene doesn't set in, and we can have these operations. Everybody here probably knows somebody who's had a kidney or a heart or a leg or an arm operated upon, and that was only because of John Lister. Changing the world makes you immortal. Immortality is the only thing that I personally strive for. I want to be working here long after I'm gone. It's like, my mother tells me, Sadqa Jariya hai. What does it mean? I dig a hole here, a pump and water, and even when I die, someone drinks water from it. That's me. I actually am feeding him or giving him the water. So, immortal things is my advice to you, the only things worth doing. It's an uphill battle, and I may be setting the standard, a little skewed here, but what else do you have to do? The reason why we do these things, try to change the world, is to save time for everybody else in this world. If I don't dig that well, they're going to have to walk an hour to bring some water. That not only gave them water, that gave them an hour of their life. And I gave it to them every day, and not him and everybody else. And pretty soon it adds up to some wonderful sawab, if nothing else. I mean,